Hello and welcome. This is Dr. Troy Adams of WellSteps. I'd like to formally welcome all of you who are participating and attending this webinar today with Alta Vista Solutions. We're so glad to have you here. I'd like to go ahead and start our presentation today with a brief story. Many of you saw the movie Apollo 13. Some of you might even be old enough to remember the actual voyage. In case you have forgotten, I'd like to remind you about 200,000 miles from Earth, an oxygen tank exploded, which caused a second tank to also fail. There were also 2 or 3 fuel cells that failed, which meant that the crew of the Apollo 13 was riding in a spacecraft without the normal supply of power, light, or water. Big problems. You may remember that the crew weathered all these disasters and were able to go around the moon, and they were slingshotting on their way home. Everything was fine until somebody in Houston noticed that the re-angle entry was drifting, getting shallower and shallower. Now that's important because the re-entry angle, if it's wrong, it could either send astronauts skipping off into the atmosphere forever or burning up on re-entry, neither of which is a particularly good outcome. So the astronauts were responsible for solving this problem, but first they had to know what had caused it to prevent it from happening again. So as they researched this problem, they found that there was a mist being vented into space. Now, this is what Hollywood presented to us. I have not found evidence that this is actually what happened, but we'll go with it. There was this mist from one side of the spacecraft. This mist was forcing the spacecraft to gradually drift. So now you remember all non-critical systems had been shut down, but there were still electrical systems running. That produced heat, which had to be cooled, which resulted in the expelling of water in the form of mist. And so these tiny drops of water had gradually and imperceptibly forced the spacecraft off course. And it led to this famous statement, something like, "Houston, we have a problem." Well, I'm here to tell you that just like those tiny droplets of water, America, we have a problem. The tiny droplets of water are things that we do, and they cause major problems with chronic disease. We've experienced an absolute spike in the prevalence of chronic disease in our recent history. Look at these slides from 1994 to 2010, illustrating the spread of diabetes among U.S. adults in this country. The darker colors indicate more diabetes. It's gotten worse and worse and worse in a relatively short period of time. If you're listening today, you might wonder, what in the world happened? That's what I wonder. Well, the truth of the matter is we move less. This is no joke. I have a neighbor who walks his dogs with a motorcycle in my neighborhood. But the truth is, activity has been manipulated and designed out of our life in many different ways. So today we move less than we used to. That's one part of the problem. The other part is we consume more, and we consume more of everything. The food that gets delivered to us at the restaurant comes on plates that are twice the size, etc., and so on. Even the beverages that we drink. Now, we don't need soft drinks. That's a well-established fact. But if you do, and you're old enough, you might remember when the beverage of choice was an 8-ounce glass of root beer filled halfway up with ice. 4 ounces of root beer, and it grew and grew and grew, and now 64-ounce beverage out of the convenience store is quite the norm. So we consume more of everything. What's the problem? Just to go over this really quickly. On the right, 2 big things. First of all, costs, which are not really desirable for your employer, but more importantly for you as an individual, poor quality of life. That means time that you cannot spend at the end of your life doing things that you want to do, traveling to places you want to see, spending time with your loved ones, fishing, hunting, camping, golfing, all of those things that you've been working so hard to do. When quality of life is impaired, you can't do those. Well, what is the primary cause of rising costs for your employer and poor quality of life for you? It's chronic disease, like diabetes, but there are many others: stroke, cancers, heart disease, et cetera, and so on. Chronic disease is primarily driven by unhealthy behaviors, the little things that we do every single day. Case in point, this is some information from the Nurses' Health Study, one of the longest running studies in our country. About 40 years, we've collected data on almost 250,000 nurses. And what we learn is that simple things are attributable for 70 to 91% of these big four chronic diseases that you will recognize. Things that could be prevented quite easily were responsible for most of these chronic diseases. So we know poor lifestyle causes chronic disease. There's no question about it. What if we were all to be healthy and do healthy things? We know from this really good study done in Germany on about 8,000 people. They followed these participants for about 8 years. What they learned is if the participants did four simple things: they exercised, they ate a good diet, they did not use tobacco, and their body weight was healthy. They did those four things. They were 36 to 91% less likely to have these chronic diseases. Some of you might wonder what MI stands for. That's myocardial infarction, a fancy way of saying heart attack. It's 36 to 91%. The great news for me in this study was that if you were not perfect, you were only able to do one of those four things that I mentioned, your risk of chronic disease would, on average, be reduced by half. That's phenomenal. So all we have to do is really find one simple thing, one droplet of water that we can do to reduce our risk of chronic disease. So this brings up the point: simple solutions solve major challenges. If you think about it, most of the big challenges that face our society today can be solved by relatively simple things applied consistently over time. So what I'd like to do now is, since you know our philosophy and you kind of know where we're coming from, I'd like to just tell you three things that will help you get started. The first is we're going to invite you to assess your health. Secondly, we're going to invite you to engage in very simple behavior change campaigns, and I'll explain those. Third, we're going to invite you on a monthly basis to record wellness activities. So let me explain how each of these things works. First, let's start with assessing your health. You can assess your health using the WellSteps Personal Health Assessment by going to wellsteps.com/welcome. It's already live. The reporting period ends on the 31st of January. Jenny, who's on this call with us today, will discuss some of the incentives associated with completing the personal health assessment by the 31st, but you can do it anytime after that if you'd like. What you'll do when you go to wellsteps.com/welcome is land on this page. There is a video link if you're a little concerned about how this whole thing works. You can just click on register. You enter your email address, and you'll have the opportunity to register, which means setting your own password and a few other simple things. Then you'll be directed here. You'll be invited to complete the WellSteps Personal Health Assessment, which takes anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes or so. It's based on a national survey conducted by the Centers for Disease Control every other year in the United States. What we've done is simplified it, made it shorter. It's phenomenally easy. Just a word of note here. I wanted to let you know that we use military-grade security protocol at WellSteps. We are always fighting the security battle, and we also have a policy, a privacy policy, which you'll see listed on our website. We never, ever sell or share your data with anybody, and we won't even give it to Alta Vista, your employer, so they cannot have it. I just wanted to assure you of that. And if you have personal questions about data security, you can email me, Troy Adams, directly. I'm the Chief Operating Officer, and my email address is troy@wellsteps.com. I'm happy to answer any of those questions for you. When you're completing the personal health assessment, you'll get to a question that asks you about your spouse or partner. They can join for free. We will need their first name and a valid email address for them. If they decide to participate, they could win $50. That's kind of a cool thing. We suggest that if you are going to invite a spouse or partner, that you text them and let them know that you've done so. That way they will be waiting for our email when it comes in, and they will know to respond to it. One lucky participant in the WellSteps Personal Health Assessment will win a WellSteps swag bag, some cool stuff that we put together in a little gift box for you. And if you complete the personal health assessment by the 31st of this month, you will get a water bottle. And Jenny will explain to you in a bit how to use that water bottle in an upcoming campaign. When you're done with the personal health assessment, you will be directed to your program center. There are several things here in your program center. The first thing you will see is your report card. It gives you an overall health grade, and then you can click on these triangles. It will give you a grade for each behavior. You want to pay particular attention to the grades, to the behaviors on which you received a B or C grade, because that suggests there is room for improvement. You can set a goal to improve any of 6 behaviors by clicking on Set a Goal Now. You can print to take the results home with you so you can discuss them with the spouse or partner. And you can check out your feedback here. There are actionable tips on each of several behaviors. You want to pay special attention to those tips if you're in the yellow or red areas here on your feedback. If you do set a goal, we encourage you to do so. Basically, what will happen is when you click on that goal, or this one over here, you'll get feedback on the goals items that you're doing really well with. You'll also have the opportunity to select a goal to improve. So let's say increase vegetable intake, for example. I'm going to click on that one. I set a goal to increase my vegetable intake for 3 weeks, 21 days. You know the saying, you improve something for 21 days. I will have an opportunity. I'll receive brief messages that will help me improve my behavior around that particular area. Once every week, you'll get a message. If you did 3 servings of vegetables per day on average, boom, you'll click that. You can even fill in the blank here to let us know how many you did. And so this is an opportunity for you to begin right away increasing your health behavior. There's a new feature that we just instituted about a week ago. It's called My Tracker. A lot of people are have wearables, but many people just like to track their exercise and their eating behaviors. You can track any of several behaviors for exercise and eating by calories, intake, servings of fruits, vegetables, and grains, etc., and then exercise steps, minutes, miles. A lot of different ways to track activity. The cool thing about this is each of these the activity trackers can be set up to sync with a Fitbit or Jawbone device if you wear one of those devices. And we're always interested in feedback about other devices you're wearing. We plan on adding several devices in the future that you can sync up with. Also in the future, this tracker will be integrated with a reward system, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, which is awesome. When you click Done for the week, you'll see this message, which will give you the opportunity to continue tracking. But we know that most people don't track behaviors forever. At some point, they get tired. They want to track something else. And so every single week, you have the opportunity to choose to stop tracking that behavior. That's kind of a cool thing. If you do, you'll get a history. This will kind of tell you how you did over a period of time. Also, one other thing related to the personal health assessment, we wanted to make it really easy for you to go to the doctor and know what to talk about. So what we did is we built a little algorithm based on one of the medical groups, Preventive Services Task Force. What it does is it takes your age, your gender, and the way you answered the personal health assessment, and it recommends, based on this algorithm, things that you should discuss when you go to your doctor. So you can print this out, go in for your annual physical, and you'll know exactly what screenings you're due for, what other things you want to discuss with your healthcare provider that particular year. So screening reminder, click on that, and you'll also get an email from us on your birthday every year reminding you that you've gotten a year better, and you'll have a chance to print that and take it in with you to your annual checkup. So just a reminder. Okay, that was a lot of things associated with being assessed. So the second thing we were going to discuss is behavior change campaigns. Now, behavior change campaigns are short. They're 4 to 6 weeks long. There are a set of simple weekly tasks that help you improve health behavior. The campaigns are chosen by your wellness committee, your awesome wellness committee. And the reason that we do it that way is because if you have diabetes, you're at risk for diabetes, or you just don't want to get diabetes, you wind up needing to do the same things. You need to eat better and move more. Do those things, you'll be on your road to good health. And so doing these at the same time lets everybody help each other. It lets them offer support, and it enables smack talk, which makes it fun. That's why fantasy football is so much fun. So everybody does the campaign together. And if you've got one coming up next month, I'm going to let Jenny talk about in a minute. Just to alert you, you will get emails from us about the campaign. You'll also get posters that look like this, something like this, just to remind you that the campaign is coming. So watch for posters that look like this in your place of work. And you'll also, in some cases, get campaign materials. This is an example of a book that we give people in the fast food guide campaign. You'll be getting a water bottle, which is useful for the Biggest Loser for Life campaign that you'll be doing beginning next month. So campaign materials. All of you in your program center, when the campaign is going on, will see that there are these bubbles. Those are campaign bubbles. They'll let you know what week you're in. You can always work backwards a week in case you need to catch up. You just can't work ahead. That way everyone sort of stays on the same page. There are some simple tasks indicated under Learn and Do, and you'll always have the opportunity to return and report. Let us know how you're doing. There may be videos in some weeks of the campaign. They're there. In fact, you will see your Well Steps Guide, Jenny, featured in some of these videos. You get to know her a little bit better. And then the last thing I wanted to discuss is rewards, which for you started this month and will run through November 30th. Now, rewards is a very simple monthly activity tracker. Listed here are some of the rewards that you'll be asked to do, some activities of the month, some annual activities. You may be wondering, do you have an app for that? And the answer is in a couple of weeks, an app will be released. The app will feature rewards and screening reminder. Campaigns will be added soon thereafter. We will let you know when the app is available. Just a couple of things about the rewards program. To indicate what you did, all you do is click here. When you're done, you click submit. If you want to browse and figure out what's coming up next month, you click here. If you want to see what things happened in the past month, so you can actually get credit a month in reverse. You can click the left arrow, and that will take you to your previous month. You can check off things. We have some links that we'll refer you to. They're listed here. The points, your points pending, and some other some point options are here, and your current points are always listed right here. And then if you want to see what prizes you can earn, you click there, and it will let you know what prizes associated with each medal level: gold, silver, and bronze. You can see here 920 points are required to get a $200 gift card. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool of your employer to provide that. All right, that's rewards. So great question. What's next? What do you do first? With that, I am going to toss to Jenny Irvine, your Well Steps Guide, who's going to explain a little bit about the Biggest Loser for Life campaign and a few other things. Jenny?
Thank you, Dr. Adams. It's always very helpful for me to understand and be reminded why we want to do wellness and why we're doing the things that we do. So we'll have you take your personal health assessment and start on those activities that Dr. Adams just mentioned. But the first campaign that we're going to be doing is going to start next month, and it's called Biggest Loser for Life. But this campaign is not really about weight loss. It's about helping you apply behavioral secrets from those who have lost weight and who have kept it off. So it's all about maintaining a healthy weight. So each week you will receive information about a different behavior that we're going to highlight, I guess, each week. And then you'll have a scorecard where you track each of those behaviors, and at the end you can earn a prize. So as we noted, this is going to start on February 9th. We will send you an invitation email on the 3rd of February. Dr. Adams mentioned the posters. Those have been displayed, so be sure to check for those around your workplace. And watch for the water bottles. The water bottles will go along with this campaign and can be used throughout. So to talk a little bit more about the week-by-week tasks, during week 1 we want to set the stage and have you watch our introduction video just to remind you how the program is going to work, what's being requested of you, and those kind of things. We're also going to have you print your scorecard. Now this is a manual way that you can track your tasks from week to week. Each week we will ask you to update the program center, the online scorecard, with your hard copy scorecard information. So week 1 is all about introduction, letting you know what to expect for the campaign. During week 2, we're going to highlight portion control. We have a video and some other information on how you can increase that in your day-to-day activities. And then again, you're going to track your information on your scorecard for week 2. Now during week 3, you're going to enter your scorecard information from the previous week. And we also have a video about fruits and veggies, so that's going to be the topic for week 3. During week 4, we're going to talk about exercise. We have a video with some examples of exercise you can try, and you will, as a reminder, want to update your program center with your scorecard information. During week 5, we're going to talk about healthy breakfast, and this is actually one of my most favorite weeks of this campaign. I think you'll be surprised at how many things you can add to your breakfast to make it more healthy, as well as a lot of things you can take out of your breakfast that will make it healthy as well. So we'll talk about that during week 5. You'll again want to update your scorecard information. And then during week 6, we're going to finish up by talking about whole grains and how that comes into play. You will add your scorecard information for week 6 as well. Now just a reminder here, each of our campaigns will have a follow-up week. So there will be one more week where we're just going to remind you to update your program center, make sure you answered the quizzes, and that we have your participation from week to week. Now this here just shows you a picture of the scorecard. This is what you will print during week 1. On the left-hand side, you'll see the behaviors, exercise, all the way down through portion control. The top row shows you your week, so you'll just track these activities week by week, and you'll enter that information in your program center. Now there are some really, really neat things that come along with this campaign. I'm thrilled that this is the first campaign you guys are doing because it is team-based. Like Dr. Adams mentioned, that is a great opportunity for some very friendly smack talk. We at WellSteps are going to preset the teams by location, so you won't have to worry about selecting your location or selecting your team. We're going to take care of all of that. But what we do need you guys to do is participate and encourage those around you, and really have fun with the friendly smack talk and encouraging each other. Now there are some great incentives that are being offered with this campaign. So for the employees who complete their personal health assessment, this first campaign, and a biometric screening by the end of March, you guys are going to receive a Fitbit, which is a huge, huge benefit from your employer. Those 3 simple things that you need to do to earn that Fitbit. While we're talking about the biometric screenings, I did want to take a note and just echo what Dr. Adams said, that your biometric information will not be shared with your employer. It will not be shared with Alta Vista at all. They won't have access to any personal health information, any specific numbers, nothing like that. And Alta Vista is doing a lot, and they are very committed to making this process as easy as possible for the biometric screenings. We will have more information coming on how that's going to work and where you can go to have that done, but there will be a mobile site that's going to be coming to various locations to complete that biometric screening. So just a couple things to think about there. And then for the spouses who complete their personal health assessment, this first campaign, and a biometric screening, you guys will be entered to win one of 4 Fitbits. So don't feel left out. You guys are definitely being included. So we've talked about a lot of different things today. Let's talk about what you can do right now. If you have not yet registered, I encourage you to go and do that right now. Your username, just as a reminder, is your Alta Vista email address. And then throughout the year, we want you to participate in the behavior change campaigns. There's going to be 4, starting with the Biggest Loser for Life campaign. We want you to log in and track your rewards points throughout the year. And remember, if you get to the gold level at the end of November, you can get a $200 gift card. You can also set healthy goals using the My Goal tool and the My Tracker tool, which Dr. Adams mentioned to us. And then the most important thing is to encourage others to participate and have fun. We all know that when we have support and we have a good support system around us, that we're more likely to succeed. And at the end of the day, we all want to be more healthy, we want to be happier, and we want to feel better. So participate yourselves and encourage others to do so as well. Now, if you do have any questions on the program center, anything that has to do with WellSteps, you can email either myself at jenny@wellsteps.com, or Alta Vista has also set up a wellness email. It's wellness@altavistasolutions.com. We're happy to answer any questions. We are very excited to get started with you guys. There's a great program that we have planned for you. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to email